To know that we know what we know, and to know that we do not know what we do not know, that is true knowledge. A quote by Nicholas Copernicus. I am here to inform you of my communication concept curator project, which centers around the knowledge gap theory. My website helps to explain this theory in detail and has information to help you understand it, along with videos and interviews. My name is Taylor Hayes, and I am an interpersonal communications major. I picked the knowledge gap theory because this topic seemed very interesting to me just by the name. I had no idea what this topic was before this project. I was curious to see what the gap was between different kinds of people in society. For my main points, I will talk about first, the functions of my website, next, the successes and failures I experienced and subsequent tricks that I learned on this topic, and finally, my ideas for the future. First, I will talk about the functions of my website. The functions of my site include blogs with different blog tabs that each have interviews, videos, and just information mixed in between all of them. Each tab does have a different blog with different information in them. And then I also have a contact tab. This tab made it easier for people to contact me and know that I was the author of this site. And then I also left a spot for people to put in their own information. I also had videos, and the videos explained the topic into detail, and they also were a visual representation of my topic, which made it a lot easier to understand. And the videos were also credible sources. Next, I will discuss the successes and failures I experienced and subsequent tricks that I learned. The successes and failures I experienced, well, first the successes. I explained my blogs very well. In each one, they were a pretty decent chunk of information, and this gave people a good idea of the topic. And then I also had pictures on my site for each different tab, a different picture having to do with knowledge. The failures of my website were the setup of my website. Because of how many tabs I just had like videos and interviews in one, and I also had like the blogs also mixed in with the same thing, and I should have set them up better by having just a tab for each different section, videos in one, interviews in one, and then blogs in another. And then also the pictures on my site, the like cover page of my website were not pictures that had to do with my topic, and if I would have changed those, it would have explained my site better when you just first opened it. And then the tricks I learned from this gap were that college degrees definitely do help you learn more and make you smarter and more knowledgeable than people that do not go to college. Like one of the videos on my site showed two men, one that was in college and another that was not in college, and the man that was not in college had no idea about our technology, about the weather going on, anything. He just did not even know how to get around in life. Obviously, that was a little bit extreme. Not all people that do not go to college are like that, but it was just expressing the point in a very good way. And studies also prove with more or less education, you do not grasp the same amount of information or know the same amount of information. So people that know more are going to continue to know more, and people that know less are not going to learn more. Finally, I have many ideas for the future. My ideas include to definitely organize my website better. Like I said before, organizing the tabs and setting up a section for each one instead of just having multiple tabs, so people didn't really know which tab had which content in it. And then that will condense it and make it look neater. And then I'm also going to update my site, which would be adding more information about the knowledge gap theory, just parts of it that I didn't cover, or more explanations to make it more clear. And then the timeline on the evolution theory in time, just explaining more of how it changed throughout time. I did state how it started in the 70s, as you could see that in one of my interviews with Carrie Wecht. And then I also want to add more interviews with people that are more knowledgeable about the topic and have experienced it, which would be having a good example from a credible source along with the videos. In conclusion, the theory I chose was the knowledge gap theory, and my website will help to explain it. I discussed the functions of my website, the successes and failures I experienced, and tricks I learned from this theory, and I also discussed my ideas for the future. If you still have any questions about the knowledge gap theory, you can learn more about it on my Weebly website.